So as a dog, I wouldn't really know. I wouldn't really know this, but according to the man, professional PGA Tour golfers are very shady. They're very shady individuals. They're very prone to gambling. They think that the gambling vice is just par for the course, so to speak. It's normal. To be a degenerate gambler is normal. But, and you have a lot of these golfers, they're the kind of people that they live like a hippie-ish kind of lifestyle, like a Grateful Dead tour, like they're people, the deadheads. They go around from place to place. And, the upper echelon, they make a lot of money and they're millionaires and they're really successful. But the guys down the ranks a little bit, they're more or less hustling, and they supplement their income by hustling. Gambling hustlers. They try to pretend that they're a little bit drunk, or they try to pretend that they're having injury, and that they try to goad golfers to golf against them for money, and then they pick their pockets clean in the last hole or two. They press and they double down, and they do different degenerate gambler techniques to try to milk the unsuspecting public. And that's how a lot of these PGA Tour professionals in the middling ranks, the middling players, they supplement their income with gambling and hustling. And, the upper echelon golfers, they enjoy golfing, gambling for large sums of money. And it's easy come, easy go, They're not too worried about it. They live by cash alone. They're subcontractors or they're contractors in their own life. They have to give themselves a 1088 form because they don't have any benefits. They don't have any health insurance. They don't have any life insurance. They just basically live cash to cash. Big wad of cash to big wad of cash. And so consequently, they're shady. They live a shady kind of existence and a shady lifestyle. But the man, he was saying he couldn't believe that they would get in bed with the Saudi Arabians. That that some of these golfers are even entertaining the thought of getting in bed with Saudi Arabia. And you have people like Greg Norman. Greg Norman comes on, he says, people make mistakes. They strangled, they tortured and strangled a U.S. citizen journalist I believe he was of Arabic descent. But the Saudi Arabia government, they capture this guy, they corner him in their own consulate or where this guy thought he would have a chance to be safe. He should have never showed up for the meeting. But this journalist, he goes in, they torture him, they strangle him, they kill him, and then they butcher him, they rendered him, they chopped him all up and disposed of him. And, Greg Norman was saying, it's a mistake. Everybody can make a little mistake. I made a mistake. One time I got a DUI. One time I cheated on a test. So the other guy, one time he strangled and tortured and killed a journalist and then chopped his body up. That's a mistake. Anybody, it's a little mistake you can make. It's a youthful indiscretion, so don't make such a big deal out of it. It's not that big of a deal just because they butchered an American journalist. That's not so, it's a little mistake. Because Greg, he's from Australia. They make little mistakes down there. They get eaten by a white shark, or there's some kind of blue box jellyfish stings them and it kills them. So they got 50 million different things down there in Australia. So Greg's not too worried about it. Getting butchered in your own consulate, by the Saudi Arabian princes, that's not so bad. That could be, as far as Greg Norman's concerned. And a lot of these other degenerate golfers, they're right there with him. They're saying, hey, you know what? Hey, we're going to make billions. We're going to make millions, multi-millions. Middling golfers, they're like, I've struggled to make, a few $100,000 a year. They're saying, these guys, just show up and we'll give you 15 million. Just show up and we'll give you 15 mil. But, you're getting in bed with the Saudi Arabians, and then, other people were saying, well, there's businesses, corporations get involved with the Saudi Arabians, like Exxon and ExxonMobil and some of these other, petro companies. And of course, there's other companies that get involved with them. And then, Disney works out a deal with them or something like that. I'm not sure if it was Disney or somebody else, but everybody, has got their hand out to the Saudi Arabians, their mutual wealth fund or whatever they put all their billions in so they can invest it and rule the world like oligarchs. But, it's their thing, So Saudi Arabians, if you get in bed with the Saudi Arabians, there's a lot of other people get in bed with the Saudi Arabians, A lot of politicians, kiss their butt because they got the oil. But it's like the PGA Tour. It's coming under harsh criticism for getting in bed with the Saudi Arabians. But everybody else is already there. They're going to have to elbow their way into the bed to get in bed with the Saudi Arabians. But whatever. Golfers. I like golf. I like watching the majors with the man. But the man was saying that the golfers, they're kind of shady. Golfers are a little bit on the shady side, and that's why they don't care, if they're going to get involved with the Saudi Arabians and start this new tour. But, whatever. Competition is good for business, so maybe it'll be better for everybody. We'll see, And maybe the Saudi Arabians, maybe they're nasty and they're bad, but maybe they're not so different. Who knows? I don't know. Recently they killed like 140 dissidents. As soon as Russia came into the Ukraine, they're like, oh my God, let's kill everybody now. Let's kill all our enemies right now. They killed like 150 dissidents, just took them out and shot them. Like in 2 days, they just executed a massive amount of people. But that's them. That's okay. That's their thing. That's how they believe, So it's okay. It's good. But anyways, if you do, if you don't, hey, if they get some really good golfers and they make some really interesting golf courses, it's kind of like the USFL. I watch the USFL a little bit. I watch the Saudi Arabia Golf Tour a little bit, If they get one or two big names, if they get Phil Mickelson and Greg Norman, maybe they could go head-to-head on a grudge match, and they could be like a pay-per-view for Saudi Arabia Princess. It'd be wonderful. Everybody have a good time. But whatever. It's all right. It doesn't matter. I'm okay with it either way. Whatever.